Am I the arsehole for asking to be paid for a dryer mistake? Oh, God. I put my clothes in the communal dryer for 40 minutes on medium and put the remaining ones back in for 20 minutes high. Around 7 minutes after the last cycle, I went to take them out. But to my surprise, the dryer was still going and someone else's clothes were spinning inside, and there was 33 minutes left on the machine. So she had her clothes in. She went back, added 7 more minutes, came back, and someone else had put their clothes in and put more money in.
So they took her clothes out and put their own clothes in?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Someone had put their clothes in without checking properly, and now my clothes are drying on high heat for 40 minutes. Yeah. Wait. So they took their clothes out or they put extra clothes in? Not the right setting, it said. There was no way to stop the machine, so I had to wait and wasted a bunch of time overall. And once it was up, I took my clothes and found the person nowhere to be found. I waited for a bit, then head upstairs to get my detergent so I can rewash my clothes. Something about someone else's clothes spinning with mine seemed kind of gross. Okay, so someone else just added extra clothes to the dryer. I'd probably wash them too. I don't trust people's clothes.
Yeah, this sounds like something a homeless person would do.
As they weren't there, I left a note on the dryer explaining the mistake and asking if they could compensate a couple dollars for the extra wash I had to do and left my number. I received a call a while later asking if I could meet them downstairs as they've seen the note. Oh my gosh, they're going to have a standoff. When I got down there, they immediately got upset and started asking what the issue was and saying it didn't make sense because they always checked beforehand and they didn't see anything. It felt invalidating because it seemed like they thought I made it up. And there was, grammar's not right. And there was nothing I could say besides trying to prove they were in there. There's no reason for me to make up such a stupid lie anyway. I asked if they could compensate me the $8 for the wash, and they got mad, saying they swear they saw nothing in there, which I think is kind of beside the point because there was indeed something in there. I don't know. It seemed like they just had a really bad day and there was a petty mistake, and if they offered to pay cash, it wouldn't be a big deal. I she didn't have any cash, so I set up my bank details. I ended up saying
what? What?
Oh, she goes, they didn't have cash and I didn't want to give them my bank details. Okay. Because they were upset. I ended up saying it's fine because they were getting heated and there wasn't much I could do. They went on to say there is such a petty mistake. And again, they didn't understand what the issue was or why I had to wash my clothes again. And they didn't have COVID or anything and they got mad. So they throughout the conversation, I kept it civil, didn't raise my voice. I felt guilty for some reason and I sort of wanted to apologize, even though I wasn't the one who made the mistake.
She sounds sweet.
She does sound sweet.
She sounds like a sweetheart.
She's writing a lot of there's a lot of rambling, like she's trying to work out what to do, poor thing. Not sure why I feel guilty when I haven't done anything wrong. Tried conversing and sorting it out, but they got mad and agitated, so am I the arsehole? You're not an arsehole. This person made a mistake and is not admitting to it. You're not the arsehole. I'm sorry about it. But if I could Venmo you $8 for the wash, I would, because I feel bad.
So, okay. So she had clothes in and someone added their clothes.
I think what happened is, it sounds like what happened is, and I've done this before, is like you put clothes in the dry, right? After 40 minutes, you take it out. Maybe your jeans are still wet. So you put a couple more things back in the dryer for some more, 7 more minutes, and you leave. Someone else came along, threw their clothes in the dryer.
Because she had so little in it. But this doesn't add up, right? Because if it's spinning, it's being used.
Well, maybe, yeah.
So was she late? Was it 15 minutes later after her 7-minute edition and nothing is spinning?
A minute and the dryer stopped spinning, someone else comes in and...
You would know, right? There's no way you wouldn't.
But why would you willingly put your clothes in with someone else's and add extra money to it? That doesn't make sense either.
What doesn't make sense is that when you go to put your quarters in and there's still time, a light bulb doesn't go off, right? And you don't think, well, are there someone else's clothes in here?
Well, it sounds like the dryer had stopped. Person number 2 opened the dryer, threw her clothes in without checking, put money in and left. And this girl came back and found her stuff trapped with someone else's socks in the wash. So I don't blame you for being annoyed. I'm sorry this other person wasn't nice about it. They should give you $8. They did make a mistake.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a problem. It just kind of sounds
This just sounds like life. I mean, the amount of times I've got my laundry back and there's someone else's socks in there and I have to bring them back down to the laundry.
Right. You go down and it's 9. How dare you put these socks in here?
Literally,
I want to speak to the manager.
The other day, someone's underpants were in there and I was like, these aren't my underpants. I'm giving this back to you. Yeah, that's happened before.
Well, the good news is they're all washed.
Yeah, exactly. So
kind of.
I think you're not the arsehole.
Yeah, you're not sharing dirty water. Right?
Yes.
So, you'll be okay.
You'll be okay.
Honestly, you shouldn't have left a note. This is something a New Yorker would tell you. don't even bother.
Just don't bother. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
True,
Like, you don't
actually.
know this person.
That's so true.
And especially if they're like, come meet me downstairs, I'd be like, fuck.
Is New York, is that really
It's
the
about to
best
go down.
attitude though? Because last night when those people were making the noise on my street, I was like, oh, fuck, like the New Yorker in me is like, just put on a podcast and try and sleep. But maybe I should have like gone down and said something.
Yeah, but you know, we live in this crazy city. We can't control it. You know, so it's a little bit, I think personally, it's a little bit better to have more of a Zen attitude.
I wasn't
you're more
zen. I was in bed and I was furious.
I'm sure.
My heart rate was going.
Yeah.
So, all
but
right.
you know, you don't know these if they have a knife or if they're unstable. You know, maybe that's the reason why they're yelling in the first place.
Yeah.
So you know this person who's doing their laundry either. Maybe they did this on purpose.
Maybe they just,
right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to take your underwear so that they can smell it later.
You never know.
Like humanity is gross
Weirdest
and
shit
vast.
happened. Weirdest shit has happened. All right. I think we solved some good problems today.
I think we did solve some good problems.